Good morning. The time now is 8:46. I'd like to call our special call meeting to order in order to adopt a resolution honoring Mr. Almond Turner. Meeting called to order. I'll read the resolution as follows. Whereas Almond Turner proudly and honorably represented the citizens of Newton County District 4 as a member of the Newton County Board of Education from January 1, 1997 through November 23, 2019. And whereas during the 23 years Mr. Turner served on the Newton County Board of Education, he actively promoted public education and supported excellent educational opportunities for all students of Newton County schools. And whereas during his tenure, Mr. Turner provided quality leadership to the Board of Education through serving as both board chair and vice chair multiple years. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Newton County Board of Education in a special call meeting this second day of December 2019 commends Mr. Almond Turner for his exemplary service to the citizens of District 4 and to the students and employees of the Newton County school system. Be it further resolved that the Newton County Board of Education will miss his commitment and dedication to upholding public education principles and policies, his willingness to listen to concerns of the public, and his unique ability to discern quickly what is in the best interest for public education in Newton County. Be it further resolved that the Newton County Board of Education extends its sincerest sympathy to the family of Mr. Almond Turner and assures the Turner family that Almond Turner's dedication and commitment to students and employees of Newton County school system will never be forgotten. Who will give us the pleasure of making the motion to move this resolution forward?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Johnson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Coggin. The floor is open for discussion among the board members. Mr. Bailey?
Almond Turner was doing retirement well. He was spending time with his family, vacationing, serving his church and serving his community. And when we would greet each other, we would kind of make some jokes, and I would ask him what part of the country he had seen in the last week, and I would make a comment about his shoes probably costing more than my truck, and I would always answer by saying, when I grew up, I want to be Almond Turner. And now a punchline has turned into a life goal. There are 3 words I'd use to describe Almond Turner. He was kind, he was fun, and he was wise. They say people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And Almond cared. He cared deeply for his wife and his family. He cared deeply for his community. His caring was demonstrated by the way he treated everyone with kindness, respect, and dignity. From the superintendent to the bus driver, from the custodian to the principal, he treated everyone equally with the respect that they deserved. He always had a smile, and he provided a listening ear. Now he might have asked you, huh, what'd you say? A couple of times. But he wanted to hear and he wanted to understand your perspective because he was a kind man. Almond was fun. He loved to have fun. He most enjoyed getting you to fall for something. While he wanted everyone to have fun, really he just wanted to laugh at you. It was his way of showing you that he loved you. Just 2 weeks ago in an executive session, we interviewed a project manager for the new Eastside High School, and as we're grilling this guy and asking him questions about his credentials, and Almond asks, what's the best temperature for concrete to be mixed at? Now, I was a VP in construction for several years. There's no magic formula for concrete. The water doesn't need to be freezing or boiling. And I knew it was an odd question, but the truth is he just wanted to give this guy some ribbing, have a good time with him. But for a split second, you don't know if he's serious or if he's joking. Those were the moments that he enjoyed the most. And he would just laugh and laugh like the cartoon character Snagglepuss. And there's one more story involving Madam Chair, Miss Guthrie always has a candy dish with Hershey's miniature chocolates at our table for our meetings, and Madam Chair has a liking for the Mr. Good bars. And just a few weeks ago, before Miss Henderson Baker arrived, Almond removed all the Mr. Good bars from the bowl, and the whole time he's winking, going, "Watch this, watch this." And then sometime during the meeting, Madam Chair casually reaches for the candy dish, and Almond begins kicking me under the table. And I'm sure what we were talking about was very important, but at the time, all I could was we were just waiting to see what Miss Henderson Baker would do. And she says, "Almond, did you take all my candy bars?" And of course, he gives that, like, "I don't know what you're talking about," as he pulls them out of his pocket. And he's laughing that hysterical, raspy cackle. Almond was kind, Almond was fun, and Almond was wise. In the Gospel according to Luke, Jesus says, "To whom much is given, much is required." And Almond was wise enough to know that he had influence, a platform, and life experience to share with others. He did not abuse those gifts. Instead, he used his influence and his platform and his life experiences to bless many people in this community. And I'm a recipient of those blessings and his wisdom. Almond was the calm in the storm. He was the level head in a heated discussion. And Almond was always the voice of reason. He would always let you voice your opinions because he was respectful. And in turn, he would offer his wisdom. He's called me after many meetings to offer his advice. He would say things like, "Mr. Bailey, I think you're right about the point you made, but you could communicate it better if you said it this way." He cared about me, so he shared with me. I'll miss those phone calls. I'll miss his wisdom. Almond was kind, he was fun, and he was wise. He adored his family, he served his church, and he served his community. We will all miss him. This board will miss him. I will miss Almond Turner. I'll sum it up like this. When I grow up, I want to be just like Almond Turner. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Is there anyone else for discussion?
Yes, I would like to attempt to make a comment. I have had a decade of experience dealing with Mr. Turner. I could sit here in the seat that I'm sitting in now and look to my right and gain momentum or look at defeat in terms of what we're trying to do. We disagreed on the method that which we wanted to achieve things for our students and for the entire school system. But at no time, even though we disagreed, at no time were we disagreeable. We worked through it, and when we finished, we were smiling just as big after we had a decision made as before. He had energy, I got energy from him, and we both thrived on each other's commitment for excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Ms. Coggin?
I think today I knew would be the most difficult day for me. After hearing all these stories over the past week about Mr. Turner, one thing I do know is that he made a difference in everybody's lives that he touched. And so I want to challenge us all to make a difference in everything we do. And so in any decision, it's what would Almond do? That's the way I plan to live my life. And when I grow up, I too want to be just like Almond Turner.
Thank you, Mrs. Coggin. Would you like to go? Mr. Turner is very special to me. This has been my buddy. We've always sat beside each other. Mr. Turner has watched me grow up as a little girl, as my mom still lives 7 houses down from them. He is someone who took me under his wing without even asking. He's always had my back. I'm forever grateful for everything that he has taught me. I'm forever grateful for our weekly conversations about nothing. I'm forever grateful for how he always watched over me and how, like Trey said, he would call us whenever there was something going on in the meeting or when we said something He would always call. We couldn't get to our car good enough before our cell phone would ring. And he would say, listen, let me ask you something. Now, what you said in there, and he would go on. I just remember the words that Mr. Turner told me. And I've said this story before. My dad died 2 days before my first election. And Mr. Turner came down to my house where my father had passed away, my mother's house. And he told me there's no need to worry. You know I got you. I got you. And he's had me since then. And although he won't be here physically, I know he got me. Mm-hmm. He has all of us. He has left a piece of us in all of it, a piece of him in all of us. Mm-hmm. And like I said the other night, he is legendary. Mm-hmm. And you do not come across that often. He is legendary. I'm so grateful to his family for sharing him with us. I'm grateful for his wisdom. I will miss his many jokes. I will miss my back. I will miss my partner. But he has me. And I'm thankful for the time that he was here to have me. Thank you.
Mayor. Good morning. Mr. Turner was an amazing man. If you met Mr. Turner and left the same way you started with him, then the problem was probably yours, but it was certainly not his. He is a giant among all of us. He was my friend. He was the backbone of our Board of Education, and he will not be forgotten. His kindness, his gentle spirit, and all that he represents for our school system and for our community are very important pieces for us to remember as we carry out the day-to-day work of the school system and as we greet and meet each other in our community. I hope that we're all just a little bit kinder and a little bit nicer having known Mr. Turner and having had his influence on all of us over the last 23 years, and of course, his whole lifetime in our community. As you've heard our board members say, if to know Mr. Turner is to love Mr. Turner. You didn't have to spend a great deal of time with him to fall in love with him as a person. He was just such a kind man who's was a beacon in the nighttime, always helping us move toward the safety of shore. And for that, I am forever grateful. And like our board members, I have spent many, many hours and many, many moments laughing and celebrating and visioning what the future might be for everyone, because he believed in us, he believed in public education, and he believed in our community. And he worked diligently to make it a place for everyone to thrive, to grow, and to be better people. And so for that, I am grateful for our beloved Mr. Almond Turner. Thank you.
Absolutely. You guys have heard the discussion. The motion is on the floor. I will call for the vote. All in favor, let me hear you say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Absolutely not. 4-0. The motion of the resolution honoring Mr. Almond Turner passes. I'll pass this resolution along to be signed by all 4 board members. With that being said, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please?
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second? Second on the floor. The meeting is adjourned, 9:01 p.m. with a vote of aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.